Whatever is created is by the knowledge I am. Waking up happens to the body. Something was aware of this body. The witness cannot be in the absence of the knowledge I am. Who are you seeing if you are not aware of the I am? You have covered everything with this I am knowledge. The five-elemental world is only the creation of this I amness. Is there any knowledge of the state of transition from the absolute to the I am? Don't ponder on that transition stage for the time being. Dwell instead on the fact that your own consciousness is the whole universe, and be there. Be cautious when such experiences arise that get you that experience. Be alert here to the I am, and all other experiences will be transcended. The next elevation will only come when you abide in the self, when you are convinced that all of consciousness is myself, when this conviction is firmly embedded. Then only will the question of the next elevation arise. Dwell on the principle of that state for a sufficiently long time. All the greatness, significance, and magnificence of the entire world is dwelling in the principle you are, and I am. That is the prop, and that itself is the greatness. There is no other remedy, no other path, except implicit faith and conviction in the self. There is no alternative. You are still fidgety. The body does whatever it wants. You have all this excitement because you feel happy with the knowledge that you have received. Whatever knowledge you have heard and accepted intellectually, you have to be. Take it that you are that. That means no shape and no design. Whatever you see pertains only to that, to your I amness. Spontaneously it is. You are that principle. Don't try to unravel this with your intellect. Just observe and accept it as it is. When do you get these experiences, etc.? Whatever is created by the knowledge I am. Do not pursue this path of running after experiences. Your own consciousness creates everything. Will there not be extreme loneliness from that experience of I amness? Be patient. Don't be presumptuous. You are asking a very deep question. You have to listen first, then contemplate and meditate. Only then can you ask such questions. I have experienced that complete loneliness. Seeing everything as me makes one feel very lonely. Why do you always fragment the witness? Everything is you. And that is the experience of complete loneliness. You have still not recognized that little remnant. First of all, are you fully convinced that you are not an individual? No. Then don't ask the question. Only when you are convinced that you are not a conditioned man, conditioned by body and mind, may you ask such questions. What is God? All greatness is because of the I am. There is no other path, only this conviction. This is it. The name and body arise from the I am. When hungry, if you want to know who is hungry, just observe. You think that you have understood everything, but it is not so. You are the one who is listening to all of this. Who has understood this? You are all that has ever been created. Only you are there. This knowledge is a new seed, and it is just taking root. Who is the seed? This knowledge is ancient, Sanatan. It has come from eternity. From the eternal absolute which is ever there, a seed appears. That seed is the I amness. It appears spontaneously. Its remnant is in us. This little seed sprouts and the whole world is created. If the morning talks have affected you, then any bodily disciplines will be redundant. They are superfluous and will have no effect on you. Do you remember the state that I was addressing in the morning talk? Both states are identical. Fully imbibe what I spoke to you about in the morning, and become one with that. If you do not like this or cannot accept it, forget everything and do what you like. I will not leave you, Maharaj. In the case of a devotee, bhakta, initially the devotee does not want to leave God. Later on, even if the devotee asks God to go, God will not leave him. God means the knowledge I am. The knowledge I am is God, Bhagavan. I have been talking for more than 80 years, but this knowledge still doesn't leave me. Is it not enough? What have you to say on this particular point? Although I am trying to throw the principle overboard, it won't leave me, and even if I wanted to, I cannot cling to it. What is the principle you can't throw away or cling to? Since everything is you can't cut it away from you. This knowledge of I amness is part of you. How can you throw it away? And where can you throw it? When you are established in beingness, I amness, you realize that everything is you. It is all your creation. A state of no mind with you as nothingness. What happens to the body form? Will it become like dry earth in due course? No, it is not like that. When the water falls, the grass will grow again on that dry earth. Maharaj, I always want to be with you from now on. Since you have understood me, are you going to marry me? Yes. Understand the significance of what I am saying. I do not own a body-mind. I have transcended the body-mind and have no identification with it. Neither of us has a body-mind, or who will marry whom. It is all one. I am already wedded, but without any separate identity of name and form. That principle I am is your illusion, but the oneness got rid of that illusion. Then one is without body or mind. The principle of oneness has no shape, therefore male and female also have no shape. This is the wedding of male and female. At that stage, the barren woman conceives and progeny is delivered. That is the I am state, and that is the universe. But that oneness is not a state of illusion. Does anyone want to oppose and challenge this? Can you explain the higher state of bliss, and is it the same as I amness? Bliss, Satchitananda, is a superior quality of happiness. However, it is bliss that is not permanent. It's still just a state of mind. Realization is when this state of mind, this bliss, dissolves or disappears into a neutral state without quality or form, nirguna. This is realization. This is a state of no mind or no thought, where you permanently remain a zero, a nothingness. What is your age? 38 years old. What was your idea of bliss 2 years prior to your birth? I would not know about that. At that time, 2 years prior to your birth, you had no experience of the dreaming or waking states or of pleasure and pain. That means that you had absolutely no experience whatsoever. Do you agree? Experience needs a body. Only give a reply to what I ask you. Say yes or no. No. Does it mean that you were not? Who says I did not have an experience? Please come forward. Thank you for pushing me inside myself. If you were inside, you would not be able to get back out again. Who is being pushed inside? Think about it, and then answer. When you were not, where's the question of bringing you back or forward? Bliss only came into existence once there was the union of male and female. Otherwise, there was no bliss. You are the product of that bliss. You are 38 years from that bliss, but it is only now that you know it. At that time, you did not know. Till the age of 3, you never knew what that bliss was. Thereafter, you may have had glimpses of it, but only now do you know. All of these are the remembrances or the remnants of that bliss. Do we carry that memory of oneness like when we were in the womb? How do you know that? When you were in your mother's womb, it was only a chemical that was working. You were born when that chemical completed its work. Was this ever explained to you when you were at Rajneesh's ashram? Were the teachings there for the students to enjoy that bliss? Have you been there? Tell the truth. I just experienced a lot of suffering. That was not the question. Do not stray from the question. Were you aware that he was enjoying things in that way? Not him personally, but was he encouraging the bliss-seeking there? No, I don't think he did that. I do not agree. The people there were dancing and embracing each other and jumping and rolling on the floor. Isn't that correct? Yes, that was in my ignorance when I took phenomena for reality, but now I will not go there. At that time, did you call those movements joy or Satchitananda? Who was it that was dancing in those moments? Can you say? I want an answer from you. I am still in the process. You may be in any process, but I want an answer. How did they get this bliss? In the process of becoming parents, they derived pleasure of Satchitananda. Are you listening? Yes. Will you be wandering elsewhere, new, searching for spiritual teachers? No, as soon as I saw you, Maharaj, it was all over. The one who is searching after spiritual matters, is he alive or dead? In the process of understanding the self, the knowledge, the consciousness, became birthless and deathless. The knowledge, the consciousness. Now I must drink some water. No water, no talk. All is well. It is because that body feeling is encompassed in your veins. When that goes away, everything will be one body. I'm only talking in reference to the body. Inside and outside only pertain to the body. The one inside has no birth or death. The knowledge that you are creates your world. Do you remember what we discussed in the morning? Yes, you are bringing me to that point of awareness. Even this idea or having this concept is not correct. Just as the sweetness of sugar is right there in each grain, this knowledge of I amness that is there in you contains the whole universe. I am not expounding this knowledge for the benefit of a human being, the one who is involved with the body-mind. It is being expounded to that state of divinity within you. Is there communication on two levels? When you first came here, you were involved with the body-mind, and the talk then was on that level. Now it is being expounded in relation to your beingness, the I amness, which having created the universe is dwelling within you as the remnant. The very core of that knowledge you are contains the whole universe. As an example, in the dream world, the knowledge you are has to be there before the dream world is created. Similarly, the knowledge you are must be there for this world of yours. The knowledge that you are creates your world. I don't understand the translation. Is it like there is music going on in the room and I am deaf and cannot hear the music? The one who is deaf should not listen to the music. You are like a person who goes on searching for himself in every nook and corner of the room. You are looking for something that is already within you. You cannot find the ultimate truth by looking outside. It is like you are banging on my head to help me remember. This idea of yours is also not correct. Get out of the body sense. Your body is made out of the 5 elements, but is not you. This body that you think is your whole world is not permanent. As long as you are identified with the body, you are a sick person and still not ready for realization. When you totally realize that you are, but not conditioned by this body-mind, you will be one with the whole world. This universe is created by that knowledge alone. I am not able to swallow the medicine you are trying to give me. You will need to do meditation and recitation of sacred words or mantras so that this obstacle of your body sense will be eliminated. Will you give me a mantra? Actually, it is not necessary. Just watch the self and hear that sound that is already going on within. It appears that you have no time to be still and steady. Presently, you are very attached to the sensations of the outside world that you get through the body-mind state. Ignore outside attractions and go within. You will then find your real self. You seem to have forgotten what you heard here in the morning and are now raising new points. Why should I stick to memories? Who is sticking to memories? The knowledge that you are is subtler than the sky, so how can memory stick to it? Let it be. Earlier you were talking about accidents and lifespans. Were you talking in reference to the Bhagavad Gita? It was with reference to life and death, not to the Gita. When I talk, I refer to the I am knowledge and not to me personally. As long as you are attached and identified with the body, you will never have peace. But once you get rid of the body attachment, you could be the king and ruler of the world, yet still be at peace. Suppose whilst talking I uttered a bad word to all of you. You would go home and say, I went to Maharaj's place and he insulted me. Is that not so? But if I tell you that this divine knowledge that you are is the creator of your universe, and after creating, its remnant is embedded within you, you do not remember or understand what I have told you. Am I correct? Yes and no. Why are you saying yes and no? That means you have no faith in me. If you have no faith, you can leave. The spark of I amness. Out of the body of the incense stick, according to the color and fragrance, everything flows. Its destiny is sealed in that. Similarly, our destiny is also sealed in the causal body, which is formed out of the essences that are consumed. Out of the food essence body, worms, insects, etc., and human beings are formed. The lower species have their own way of communication with each other, and it is called Vachaspati. Human beings alone have the quality of intelligence and are called Brihaspati, which means master of intellect. Sukra means seed or essence of life. The Father provides the quality of beingness that is in the seed form, and the blood of the Mother provides the energy. Once it is formed into shape, the seed loses its existence. Without food or nourishment, there cannot be any life. The knowledge of beingness is everything. Wandering here and there will not bring you peace. Hopes and desires will always be there, but once you understand and absorb what I am saying, you will cease to be there. Then you will have these desires, and who will be there to enjoy them? The will to live is strong. To drop this identification with the body is like dying in a sense. Is it possible to do it voluntarily? What you call the body is this food, which is the fuel for the sustenance of your consciousness. The mind is the product of the vital breath. When the vital breath flows, the mind flows and creates the world. Language is an external impression that's made on the child. The child absorbs the vital breath and then talks. Consciousness is the wish to be. That beingness wants to be perpetuated and does not want to be extinguished. Its quality is the will to live, which is love itself. It loves to live. Because it wants to live and sustain itself, it creates the right conditions and goes into activity in the world. Isn't this detachment from the body-mind like a form of death? Yes, it is a sort of death. The greatest advantage I've got is out of the fact that I am enjoying this living death. Most of the saints talk about this living death. The greatest advantage I've got is out of the fact that I am enjoying this living death. Most of the saints talk about this living death. Can we reach a state like you where we are willing to experience this death? You don't lose yourself. The whole process is to understand your misidentification and come out of it. If you accept this, then nothing can touch you. Knowing that you are not the body, watch the vital breath as a flow of the mind. You are here in the spark of I amness. When you acknowledge the I amness, you become the spark. I am like space and do not have an identity. This is my I amness, from which all the talk is being produced. Now you have heard me talk at length. Do you still feel it necessary to have all this play of dancing and jumping about in Rajneesh's ashram to achieve self-realization? No. A common man who feels inclined towards spirituality will be full of concepts. Unless he is made to dance and jump about, he will not understand the futility of the mind and its concepts. Only then will he come here to listen to these talks. Chinmayananda is another guru who talks about the Upanishads. When his disciples find that they cannot relate to the Upanishads, they come here to learn about self-realization. Muktananda's followers have also come here and have never gone back. I went through all this nonsense for 10 years. It was necessary, only because it gave me discrimination to be able to recognize the diamond teachings of Maharaj. There is no God, there is no devotion. I am neither a saint nor a guru. I am not learned, nor do I have any pride of knowledge. Is that acceptable to you? It is acceptable because I have heard you talk for a long time. But if I had heard you say it on my first visit, I would not have come back. It is acceptable because I have heard you talk for a long time. But if I had heard you say it on my first visit, I would not have come again. I would not have had the maturity 10 years ago to understand you, Maharaj. Now that you have heard me, tell me what is your identity, name, and form. I have only one obsession, to get rid of all ideas of form and shape. It is already not there. It is absolutely not. I will have to go deeper and find out. Who is going to find out? Where is the person who is going to search? You had a burden of 10 sticks, but all of the sticks have been thrown out. So where is the burden? The essence of the 5 elements is within you. But are you the 5 elements? The sweet made with ghee is very nourishing, but I am not that. If you throw away this flower in my hand, will I be thrown away along with it? I eat food, but am I that food? Whatever food is not needed is thrown out. But does that mean I am also thrown out? The key that switches on Leela. The dialogue going on inside me is constantly interrupting whatever I'm hearing from you. What can I do? Our friend, who is sitting near the window, changed his seat earlier because of the loud music and noise from the outside that distracted him from listening to my talk. In this new seat, the noise outside ceased to disturb him. Similarly, we should move our attention away from the chatter within, observing it only as a witness, unconcerned about it. Then the chatter will not disturb us. If we try to resist it, it will disturb us even more. Do not try to judge whether it is good or bad. When I am paying attention to you and you are listening attentively to me, the noise coming from the window will not disturb either of us. At present, the noise outside has stopped by itself. Similarly, that chattering within you will also settle by itself. Is becoming established in the beingness like Maya saying, I am leaving, and Brahma saying, I am staying? Just be. The sunlight will go when the sun sets. So when the Maya goes, the beingness or consciousness will settle. Your attention should be focused on the beingness. Don't worry about Maya or anything else. In that state, Maya will serve you with folded hands. Anandamayi is established and one with her beingness. As a result, Maya is serving her with a lot of affluence, and everybody goes and falls at her feet. Is this your first visit to Mumbai? From where have you come? I have traveled alone from France. Who told you to come here? I read the book, I Am That. Maybe it will take months for me to understand all of it. Yes, stabilizing in it will take time. The knowledge within you has to mature and slowly get established. Is it necessary to suffer because of what is happening around us? It is only the mind. You should not allow it to get affected by all that you see. If the talks had any effect on you, you would not have asked any questions referring to body consciousness or your experiences. When you remember constantly that you are not the body, the effect will lessen. I am sorry I have been so stupid. The ideas which you have expressed only relate to stupidity. Yesterday I gave you the example of Puruna, male, and Puruni, female. Puruna means youth. If you split this Marathi word into Paru and Anu, you get tree and atom. Atom refers to the seed. This tree exists because of that seed or atom which is your consciousness. All of this has arisen because of consciousness. Now what will the next action be? This tree will again unite its male, Paruna, and female, Paruni, parts to create more seeds, in order for more universes to grow. So what is the power of youth? It reproduces in the same image. I told you yesterday that this body is the food for other species, or for itself, or for the sustenance of its own consciousness. Once you know that you are not in this world permanently, you will have no need to hoard material possessions. Does the name that you are referred to by have any shape or color? If this is the edible matter for your knowledge, are you this body? I eat bread, but I am not the bread that sustains and nourishes my body. Are you the breath? Are you the quality of I amness that is there because of the food body? When the food body is dropped, the breath is also dropped. How can that I amness be sustained then? The I amness will also disappear. What is the progress after I amness? Unless you have the understanding of I amness, there is no progress. Once you understand the I am, there is nothing further to understand. When your I amness is gone, together with everything, then there is nothing. Then that nothingness is everything. Who is saying this? Is it the I amness that is saying that there is nothing and that nothing is everything? Once you know the I am, there is no one left to say that nothing is everything. A woman who thinks she is a guru and a disciple of hers who are among the visitors now enter into a dialogue with Maharaj, the visiting guru. When the I am goes into nothingness, it is nothingness that says there is nothing. Your nothingness is telling whom? Is it the fact that she claims to be your guru? Do you know who my guru is? If I know your guru, what is the use of that to you? Only if you know your guru can he or she be of any use to you. Visiting guru. The step from the ego to the total consciousness is the step that I am missing. Who says that she has missed this step? Disciple. Small ego to total consciousness. The lady who asked the question forgets this step. Who are you to say that she forgets? If you say she is your guru, how dare you say that she is making a mistake? Disciple. We are one. I am merging with my guru. I ask you whether you understood the key that switches on the play, Leela. I want a reply. No, I don't understand the key. What is your age? I am ageless. What is the age of your body? Visiting guru. This body is about 60 years of age. Did you hear or see the Leela when the body was not there? I was the Leela. You are telling a lie. At that time you did not have any concept of the knowledge I am, the beingness. So does that make me a liar? Since you are a guru, you are trying to run away with it. You only had an experience of this Leela after you acquired this body. Answer me, yes or no? I had the memory of this experience in another body as well. What is the food that sustains your memory? The body is your food, is it not? Your body is the sustenance of this experience of Leela, and your I amness only appeared when this body of yours came into existence. The memory is in the brain, and it is like a computer which is part of my mind. The brain is created only when the body is created. When you did not have this body, did you have a memory? Don't give explanations, just answer yes or no. I don't know. Did you have any memory before the existence of this body? When the body was not there, you did not know you were. Answer me, yes or no. All right, yes. Identify yourself with consciousness. What was the cause for the formation of your body which allowed you to understand that you are? This body is born because of the action of the parents, is it not so? I see it as energy. You may call it whatever you like. Is it not because of the action of the parents that your body, which sustains your consciousness, was formed? Certainly. After the body comes into existence, whatever happens is an illusion or play. What is the use of all this to you? It is useless and senseless to me. If you think that all this lila is senseless and you've come to the conclusion that all is unreal, what advantage can you derive from it? The saints call this renunciation and are not interested in it. Once you understand all this, your body, the knowledge, and everything else is useless. What other knowledge do you want or seek? All I want is to be purified and good. Whatever name has been given to you, can you make it clean by polishing it? So why did you say that you want to be pure and good? I want to be without all this. If you want to be without all this, then in what shape or image would you like to be? When I am talking to this lady, I want to know whether all of you are listening or not. Do you understand what I am saying? Visiting Guru. Yes, we understand. Does it mean that you and the world have been thrown overboard? I'm not committing myself to anything. Who does not want to commit to anything? How can you be caught? Why are you showing off? This girl who is fighting thinks she is a guru. What have you to say, Guru Raman Das? The girl starts singing. There is no need for this song. All this is illusion. What I am saying is itself illusion. This entire congregation here is only the effect of Maya. Visiting Guru. You, Maharaj, are also illusion. I am watching the Maya. The incense stick, the spark, the fragrance that is inhaled is all illusion, and I am watching it all. I do not deliberately do anything. I just witness all of it. Do not get attached. Have you understood all that I have told you? Why does your breath not run away with the breeze of this electric fan? I have come here to know about God and not about the electric fan. This God is just a word. What is the difference between this name God and your name? None. Then what inquiry are you making about God? I am not. Interpreter, you said earlier, I have come here to know about God. You have an idea that you are a guru and are clinging from that standpoint to various concepts and ideas. I am a free man and am not attached to anything. The talk just happens. Visiting Guru. You are laughing at me and trapping me in my mind. So long as you are proud and think that you are a guru or anything else, you will not have any peace. She says that she has come to study Ayurveda, yet she thinks she is a guru. Visiting Guru. You are absolutely right. You have asked me some interesting questions. Are you going to visit again? Yes, because you are so adorable and cute. Interpreter to visitor. The word adorable is translated in Marathi as puja, which also means zero. So do you mean Maharaj is a zero? Yes. Buddha described the final state as shunyata, or zero, void. Are you studying Ayurveda? Do you know what Ayurveda means? It is a Veda. Ayur means lifespan. In Ayurvedic medicine, they conserve the life energy to prolong life. An Ayurvedic doctor gives medicine to the patient and saves his life. Say yes or no. If the patient wants to live, then the answer is yes. Otherwise, the answer is no. Visiting Guru. It is his fate. You have not assimilated the knowledge that I have been expounding. What is that Ayurvedic doctor doing? He wants to prolong that I amness or consciousness which has appeared in that food body. The lady is talking in an irrelevant manner, and everyone present tells Maharaj to ignore her. You are not the personality or the individual. This body is the food body on which consciousness appears. The vital breath does all the work, and consciousness witnesses it all. This body is only the food body for the consumption and the sustenance of the I amness. You have to remain in that beingness or consciousness with firm faith, while having no identification with the body or the personality, or with the name and form. Always identify yourself with consciousness. It will take a while for this conviction to take root, but persist. This consciousness, which is there from childhood, prevails continuously till the vital breath leaves the body. Carry out all the activities in the objective world, but do not claim authorship for what is being done. As you begin to realize that all the activities are happening through you and that you are not doing anything, then gradually all your desires, like the attachment for husband or wife or greed for money, etc., will dwindle. All of that will go away once the sense of doership disappears, because at that stage there will be no personality left to take credit for anything. What thoughts are arising in you and about these particular points? Visiting Guru. If there is conviction in the I amness or beingness, then these questions will arise spontaneously, so where do these questions come from? Where is the need for these questions if you are no longer an individual? If questions spring up, let them spring up. This body is there and this body is talking. It is not by any special desire that this body was created, or that everything is flowing. It happens spontaneously, so why should I worry? As long as you are measuring everything in relation to your food body, your relationship with this outer world is bound to be there, as well as your need to perform rituals or achieve something. Once it is gone, you can no longer say you are Hindu, Christian, or Buddhist. These are traditions imposed on the body-mind. But since you are not the body-mind, it is no longer valid. Does your friend want to ask any questions? Visitor. This lady and I met in Dharamsala. We came here yesterday. This body is not the yardstick for your identity. Is this principle getting confirmed in you? Whatever activities are happening are not individual, but are a manifestation. As long as you are attached to your food body, you have to bear the consequences of physical actions. When you have detached from the body consciousness, and when whatever is done is offered or surrendered to Brahman or Krishna, you will be free from the results of all activity. Are there any more explanations needed? The ego is very strong. As long as you are identifying with the body, you are going to have the problem of ego. If floods come and destroy some villages, you cannot take credit or discredit for it. Similarly, you are not responsible for whatever is happening in nature's own course. You have a limited existence for a limited time. Once that limit is over, you will merge with the Absolute, Parabrahma, and be gone. Once the vital breath has ceased, you no longer exist. Where is the truth of your being? All this furious activity to achieve something is only the truth within the illusion. All of this was always an illusion. Presently you feel that you are. This is a sort of reality, but will only be there for a limited time. Without the body, there is no I amness. Who is he who is experiencing the illusion? Can he see himself? What identity do you give to him? None other than the I am. I am is there without saying I am. Do you agree? Are there any other points that you are not able to understand? Sometimes it seems that there are powers in the universe that lead me to wherever I should go. Why does it happen that way? Activities take place because of the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, the five elements, the purusha, the observer, and the prakriti, the dynamic quality of maya. All activity is due to these 10 aspects which arise from your beingness. There was a gentleman called Terence Stamp who was here for a few days. He was a very intelligent man and a great thinker. It is a pleasure to talk to such people, as it is mutually enjoyable and beneficial for both. The people who just listen and blindly follow should not come here. If they are unable to understand my knowledge, they should recite japa instead. If the disciple repeats the sacred words, I am Brahma, that identity of Brahman will eventually sprout and manifest. Only then will that person be worthy to listen to my talks and mature enough to understand what I am telling him. Is love the source of I am, or is I am the source of love? What is the relationship, if any, between love and hate, and what are their sources? I amness, awareness without thought, is love. Love is not taken from I amness. The self becomes manifest when love gets established as the I amness. When love starts loving the love, that is the self. When everything is love, there is no place for hatred. Only when the burning end of the incense stick hurts me do I get angry and throw it away. But if everything is me, there is no question of hate. If I amness exists separate from the body, who experiences the reaction from the incense stick? The I amness is because of the body. Without the body, there is no I amness. What happens to the I amness when the body falls down? The I amness together with the vital breath appears spontaneously when the body is created. The vital breath and the food body are necessary to sustain the I amness. When the food body is dropped by the vital breath, the I amness disappears. Where does the I amness go? Where does this flame go when it gets extinguished? Everywhere and nowhere. The same thing applies to the I amness. Does this teaching incorporate the reincarnation idea? And does I amness reincarnate? So long as one identifies with the body and the mind, one should think it so. Thank you. Quite appropriate. These are all merely ideas. A villager who is afraid of ghosts and spirits will be afraid to walk alone at night, in case the spirits attack him. But a soldier who does not believe in spirits will not be afraid to walk alone in the forest at night. The ignorant, who are attached to their bodies, will be bound by concepts like reincarnation, whereas the man of understanding will have no fears about death or rebirth. Jnana is the knowledge. I amness and Maya are the watcher and the Leela, respectively. The I am is not involved in any of the activity. I am expounding this knowledge from the I am level, though my normal state observes the I amness. If the I am concept tends to color our experience, how can we tell how our experiences would be without that concept? When you get established in the beingness, there are no thoughts or words. You are everything, and everything is you. Later, even that ceases to exist. Krishna made Arjuna realize that the whole world is Krishna. He realized that the knowledge I am, which means the manifestation of the entire universe, spontaneously appeared in him. Those couplets appear to have been taken from the Upanishads. They are identical. Whatever verses are produced in the Gita are part of the Mahabharata. The whole Gita section was not written by Krishna, but was a dictation by Sanjaya, who was sitting in the palace telling Arjuna's enemies all that Krishna was saying. He had the power to see what was happening many miles away and reproduced everything Krishna told Arjuna on the battlefield. Finally, Vyasa edited it all and put it across in the Mahabharata. I talked to Morris Friedman some 4 years back, and he edited my words, emphasizing certain points and adding his own ideas in the book I Am That. That book and whatever was expounded at that time was only relevant for that period. I am speaking differently today. As a matter of fact, this should also have been recorded and published as it is in greater detail and is emphasizing different aspects. Without I amness, the Absolute does not know it is. After being initiated by my guru, I used to discuss any doubts with my colleagues and Guru Bandhu, Guru brothers. One day I mentioned a particular doubt to a friend. During one of our guru talks, my friend put across my question to the guru. The guru inquired whose doubt it was, and my friend replied, "It is Maharaj's." Our guru suddenly sprang up and said, "What? A doubt for you?" He did not say anything more about it, but from that moment, if ever a doubt appeared, the answer would also appear. Intuition comes according to the person sitting in front of me. Suppose there is someone sitting here. I may not ask him any questions directly, but may put a question to someone else instead. He may be stimulating questions in the other without even knowing it. I can tell people's state from their faces, but I may not express it, because if they are at a lower level, they could be offended. Did you say to be aware for 24 hours? If you are encountering such a situation, it is because you still identify yourself with the body-mind, and from that body-mind you want to merge with the I amness. The dream world is the creation of your consciousness, and is created because of your consciousness. It is the child of your consciousness. Where's the question of you trying to merge again with consciousness? I think her question is that she would rather be without thoughts during the day, but in dreams she is not so aware of her body-mind. That is why she gets a little confused. Whatever you do in the waking state, such as trying to get rid of your ego or to be without thoughts, will be repeated in the dream state. Instead, you have to come to that state where everything merges in your own beingness. Then, since everything is already merged with the beingness, when that beingness finally disappears, everything will disappear along with it. That is the final state. Presently I am seeing this world due to the bright sunlight. But if a heavy cloud were to suddenly appear and block the sun, everything would disappear. This creation is without a womb. Similarly, this world in the waking state is created without a womb. There is no conception, no delivery, and no creation. The individual consciousness is working during the waking state. When you go to sleep, you think consciousness also goes to sleep. But the universal consciousness is working even when you are asleep. It is the individual consciousness and the personality that goes to sleep. Therefore, the personality does not realize that the universal consciousness is still working, or that the entire universe is always working. Is it the universal consciousness or the individual consciousness that creates? These questions arise because of the conditioning of egoism. When you are in the I amness, there is no egoism. It is completely liquidated. Consciousness appears, is seen, and then again is gone. It is like the air and the sky. The mistake happens because we consider that consciousness to be the individual consciousness. Consciousness means universal consciousness. In deep sleep, the individual consciousness or personality forgets itself, but the universal action still goes on. Whatever you meditate on or think about before going to sleep, that process continues. That is why importance is given to the recitation of a sacred mantra just at the point of falling asleep, in order for that process to continue. Does the I amness without ego create consciousness? I amness is without ego. The subsequent products are the mind and the ego. Where does intuition come into this, and how does it arise? The quality of I amness or beingness is intuition and inspiration. Just like when you have a seed and plant it, it must sprout. Similarly, the quality of beingness must sprout. People are too lost in body-mind consciousness to even consider beingness. That is why I'm asking you about intuition. Whatever identity a person holds on to, the quality of inspiration will be according to that. Does the state of mind before we go to sleep affect our dreams? Yes. Recite the sacred mantra and you will become established in the meaning of the mantra. Don't ask me questions from the standpoint of a human being, personality, or individual. Ask questions with the understanding that you are not an individual. Identify instead with consciousness or I amness. We are not used to the sounds of a mantra. We need the words, but the meaning is not as great when we say it in our mother tongue. You can say both. You are a teacher and I want to talk to you. From what I can see, the mind is that which maintains that separateness which we call reality. Before I am that, I am. You are giving all the importance to the mind and think the mind is making all the difference. I am comes first. Interpreter. In I am there is no mind. So I am must be the source of the mind? Interpreter. Yes, the mind springs up after I amness, but this I amness is observed by the Absolute together with all of that action. Yesterday we spoke about the two parts of the incense stick, the top end being the spark, full of activity, and the other end that is still and watching. The active part is called Maya and is due to the mind. The inactive part is the I amness or Purusha, which is just watching. Only when you identify with that which is stationary, the Purusha, can you become the watcher of the I amness and all of its activities. Without this I amness, the Absolute does not know that it is. Watching is not deliberate. Watching happens to the Absolute only with the appearance of the I amness. The I amness, like binoculars, must be there and available for watching to happen. If you are suggesting a position as the watcher, does it make any difference what the activities are? How does the choice relate to that, if at all? Whatever activities happen only because of your I amness. They make no impression on that I amness. Judgments, like good and bad, are aspects of the mind. But if you are one with that I amness, then at that stage the mind is not there. This universal consciousness which you speak about, is it the same as the inner guru or Satguru? If you are talking from the standpoint of a body-mind, an individual, or a human being, then you are going to compare Satguru with that universal consciousness. But if you become that from the Absolute standpoint, everything is one. Ishvara means the expression of all form. Meditation is not yet smooth for me. It feels bumpy. The ideas that you are not stable and that it is bumpy are only ideas in your mind and can only be captured by the mind. Yes, that is why I am holding on firmly to the witness. Why be firm? Just be relaxed and question why there is effort. Every moment is like Amrit, nectar. It's very important to me and brings up the sense of effort rather than relaxing. What is this effort you are doing in this moment that is Amrit? I am making every effort of not being in the ego or in the body-mind. Where's the necessity of getting involved with the body? It is just a habit of all the past conditioning. Can a moment be nectar? A moment is a fragment of time. Amrit is eternity. If the I am stays right in this moment, is it eternity? All of the moments are like sparks flying, but the self is continuous. I am experiencing I amness a lot these days. Who is experiencing it? You are the consciousness. There is no question of experiencing anything. Whatever is what you are. You are creating a separate identity. Yes, separation. The witnessing of the Isvara state occurs to me. Isvara is a manifestation of the 5 elements and the universe. The witnessing of the I amness occurs to the Absolute. A disciple, Siddhartha, who is getting established in the Isvara principle, could not claim this understanding, Siddha. Last night there was an experience, here I go again, of the I am vibrating like there was no body. It was very intense. In what form did you see that pulsation? There was no form and no body. Something was forcing me to sit still and let it flow. Whatever feeling or vibration you are having is only the product of the 5 elements. Is it not the vital breath or the state of I amness? In addition to the 5 elements, there are the 3 gunas, types of behavioral qualities, and the Purusha, the masculine principle, and the Prakriti, the feminine principle. These 10 facets are the expression of your beingness. My concept that you transcend the body-mind, which you accept, is for the kindergarten spiritual seeker. But now I am talking to the disciple who is already getting established in beingness. So that first lesson should be over by now. The entire manifestation of your world and universe is just the expression and manifestation of your beingness. The consciousness, or Isvara, is not that of an individual. Isvara means the expression of all form. Now you are listening to what I am saying. When you leave this place and talk to other people, you will say that Maharaj talked a lot and added even more confusion. Not at all. The only thing happening is that it is so clear and fast. Besides, there is no place else to go. This Brahman, or Isvara, and this manifestation are self-created. But within that, you are there, trying to modify things. The consciousness senses that it is everything, that it is Isvara. then some desire spontaneously arises to modify or adjust things. And at that moment, everything else happens and you realize you cannot adjust it. It is. This will happen continuously, but you are not involved in that. You are aloof from that. That is why it is so helpful for me to be here. In spite of that Delhi and the world are still far off, this chemical, this ingredient is your I amness, and it is sustained by consuming this food body. The Absolute is watching this I amness that is sustained by the food body. Is it clear? After some time passes in the waking state, rest is required, so the I amness goes into oblivion. It goes to rest and forgets itself. You may not comprehend exactly what it means now, but as you get established in beingness, you will understand how you are above the waking and dreaming states, because those are only expressions of your beingness. The waking and dreaming states pertain only to your I amness. We are only able to observe because of the I amness. When the I amness is not there, the tool to observe is also not there. What happens is that while listening to what I am saying, you are still entertaining some ideas about consciousness. If my words tally with your concepts, you are happy. But I want to blast all concepts and establish you in a no-concept state. Our Prime Minister, Maharaj Desai, has got some firm ideas about God that he does not want to change. A lady who comes here knows the Prime Minister and gave him and his brother 2 books of my talks. Maharaj just scanned through those books and said, "I don't agree with this." I don't agree means it does not tally with my concepts, so I cannot accept it. He did not want his concepts to be blasted, but his brother was wonderstruck and said, "There is some sense in this." So it's like if I am deep inside, then it's all gone and there is no I am? This I amness merges in the Absolute. It feels hunger. You cannot be one with the universe. What difference does this make? How old are you? 46 years old. Give me some piece of information about yourself 2 days prior to your 46 years. If you cannot remember that, how can you swallow all of this knowledge? Your consciousness cannot swallow this big tree, which grew from a small seed. There is no space required for the dream world. It has its existence solely in the knowledge of beingness. Similarly, all of this illusion and knowledge has existence only through our being conscious of it. Your birthday and birth time, is it not the creation of your mind? How long do you intend to stay here to get established in the knowledge? As long as it feels relevant. In that case, is the knowledge real or is it a cheat? A cheat with a smile. If you tap on the cheek of a small baby, it will smile at you and you will smile back. The smile of the child and your emanation are the same. So is the smile of the child going to die? The quality of beingness, like the smile of the child, comes and goes. The one who understands this is beyond birth and death. In the Hindu tradition, it is said that in your old age, you must become a renunciate, sannyasi. 2 months ago, the Italian ambassador came here with 4 elderly gentlemen who had the intention of becoming renunciates. After listening to this talk, they gave up their idea of renunciation. Normally, the renunciation, sannyas, is concerned with 6 aspects, the 5 elements and the knowledge I am. But when you understand all of this, what is the point in renouncing these 6 qualities? When all of this knowledge is imbibed by you and settled in you, there will be no more desires and you will not be attached. You will be beyond desire and no desire. You will be unconcerned. As an example, seeing you walking on the road, a taxi driver offers to take you to your destination. He takes you round and finally brings you home, charging you an exorbitant fare. You come out of the house in the evening and realize that you had picked the taxi up very near to where you wanted to go in the first place. The taxi driver brought you home in a very roundabout way. Other guides or gurus like Rajneesh are like this. They show you a long and difficult path to achieve Brahman, or self-realization. Although we are attached to the whole world and are moving about in it, the root of our attachment is self-love, knowledge of one's existence. I like your teaching as it is the truth, so where's Rajneesh's moral sense and responsibility as a teacher? It is all fun. He knows it is not real and he wants to have all the fun. That is his idea and his concept, and he also wants to create a peace clan. If he is enlightened, how can he create that illusion? It is all fun. All of the disciples are ignorant, so he has fun with them or makes fun of them. I did a lot of japa and a lot of penance, but I got nothing. I eventually found the right guru, and in a moment, I was transformed. When I met that great guru, Sadguru, unfragmented, whole, unblemished, and complete, I became that. Have self-confidence or faith. If this knowledge is totally absorbed by you, you will not need any words or sacred recitation to achieve the ultimate.